Welcome to Discovering the Law. My name is Lucy Rivera, and we're here with a very special guest in a very special segment, Attorney Matt McTygue, and we're here with talking about the Boston Bar Association and the president of the Boston Bar Association, Matt. Matt is also a partner of Hogan Lovells. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Lucy. It's great to see you.
Matt, tell us a little bit about the BBA. What is the BBA?
Sure. So the Boston Bar Association is a volunteer-driven nonprofit organization. It serves the legal profession in Greater Boston and has an amazing professional staff that manages all of the programs and services that the BBA does. We have about 15,000 members and over 140 member firms and companies that support the organization, which includes schools, lots of law firms, and as well as corporate organizations. The mission of the BBA is to advance the highest standards of practice in the profession, to facilitate access to justice, to serve the broader community. And so the sort of the four pillars of the organization are excellence, service, justice, and diversity.
And Matt, how did you get involved with the Boston Bar Association, what we call the BBA?
Yeah, so it goes way back. So when I was an associate at a law firm, just navigating my way, I was asked by a more senior associate to attend a program at the BBA with him. And went to the program and found that it was really useful and people were nice. I got to meet some other lawyers. So I decided to go back and again and joined one of the sections, the business law section, so I could learn more about how to practice corporate law, which is what I do in my day job. And I hung around enough that the BBA asked me if I would be interested in taking on a leadership role. So I served in various smaller leadership roles over time that grew to then becoming a member of the board, which is called the council at the BBA. And then I was asked to serve on the executive committee and ultimately found myself where I am now, which is a product of both saying yes too many times and following through when they asked me to do something. But it's been a wonderful journey to make it here. Serving in this role as president has been the highlight of my professional career.
As president, what exactly do you do?
A lot of speaking engagements. So I've had to speak at many of the BBA's events, and I've been honored to be able to do that, to be able to give awards to notable attorneys. And just recently, last week, we gave an award, and I was honored to be able to present the award to Chief Justice Kimberly Budd of the Supreme Judicial Court for her distinguished service on the judiciary. 2 weeks before that, as you know, we had our annual Law Day event. This time we did it at Fenway Park, which was an amazing time, and I was able to give an award to the SJC's Access to Justice Commission for their work in increasing access to justice. But anyway, back to what I do. I also issue statements on a variety of issues that are relevant to our members. I chair the meetings of the leadership, so I chair the meetings of the council as well as the executive committee. And really just, it's every week I'm speaking or chairing a meeting. And yeah, it's been just an amazing experience, but very busy.
It sounds like that. You did touch a little bit on this, but what are some of the services that the BBA provides, and who are you providing the services to?
Sure. So primarily our services are directed to two groups, very broad groups, both attorneys who practice in the Greater Boston area as well as law students who go to school here. A number of our sponsor organizations are the law schools in the Boston area, so we have lots of programs and services that are focused on students But the programs we do, continuing education programs, we do professional development programs, industry and practice area conferences for different areas of practice, networking events. We do our big gala events. There are 5 different events we do that are sort of the big events. I know you joined us at the event in May, which was the John and Abigail Adams benefit, and where we gave an award to Ruth Ellen Fitch, which was the Richard Soden Award for her services over her vast career. Pro bono opportunities, mentorship opportunities, leadership opportunities. We have, the BBA has 27 sections, which are different areas of practice, and both focused on practice areas and industries. We also have 9 professional networks for different types of lawyers, from affinity organization lawyers, as well as practitioners, in-house solo practitioners, government lawyers, and we also publish a weekly law firm news that gives you all the recent happenings in the Boston legal community. We do monthly public policy updates, just letting you know what's happening in the legislature, any new justices who have been appointed to the bench, and giving you bios on them so you know what's happening across the legal profession. And we do a quarterly journal, which is more substantive articles, and I write a president's page in that as well. We host job fairs. This is something relatively new for us. Once we brought on so many student members, we have now 2 job fairs. One is focused on small firms, because lots of the big firms do their own recruiting, but smaller firms have an opportunity to meet with talented students across Greater Boston, including UMass, which is a little bit further out. And we do another job fair for government service and nonprofit organizations. What else do we do? We support, as you know, the affinity bar organizations. So Massachusetts Association of Hispanic Attorneys, of which you were president a couple of years ago, the Mass LGBTQ Bar Association, the Mass Black Lawyers Association. We provide support for their organizations. We broadcast all of their events. We offer office space at the BBA to help them to have a place where they can convene. And then we issue statements on a variety of legal issues. We sign on to and we author amicus briefs on issues that are, advocating for policies that help our profession, or provide greater access to justice, or to help the judiciary advance civil rights. It's an enormous amount that we do, and I want to say the volunteer leadership could not. They have great ideas that sometimes form the basis of the programs and services that are provided by the BBA, but by and large, it's the dedicated and amazing staff who do all of the work and do such a great job.
Yes.
As you know from your experience with them as well.
Yes, kudos to Rich and everyone in the leadership.
Absolutely.
Very important work that the BBA does. And you did talk a little bit about the mission. You didn't talk about the membership.
Yeah.
And these are all great benefits about joining the BBA.
Yeah, so the membership is really, we are fortunate to be as big as we are. I do think that many people in Greater Boston view membership at the BBA as sort of an important part of what it means to be a lawyer. Sometimes people think that law is just a business, and certainly there are increasing pressures on organizations to feel that way. But it's also a profession, and we want to give back to the community. We want to advance the highest standards of practice, and having a bar association with robust programs and services really complement that very well. So when you are a member of the BBA, You have access to all of the programs and services, many of which are free with your membership. You get all of the newsletters, you get all the journals, you get all of the statements. All of those things are delivered into your inbox, and we actually even have now a print publication that we distribute that's a sort of a summary of some of the highlights from the law firm news. We'll do interviews with prominent lawyers and managing partners of firms and offices. And so all of those things you get. But what you really get is a deeper connection to the legal community in Boston. You find out the opportunities that are available. You find out the jobs that are available. You meet other practitioners who will really just help you to grow your network and be a better attorney and be a better person, because you will have access to opportunities to give back.
I think the BBA found the embodiment of the BBA representation. You also do pro bono programming. Tell us a little bit more about those programs and public service.
Sure. So, we offer, pro bono trainings as part of the continuing education programs that we do. We have developed new pro bono trainings in many different practice areas where people learn to be able to represent different groups of people in landlord-tenant issues, in immigration issues, other issues where we really need more people committed to providing civil legal aid services. And, and we also broadcast pro bono opportunities in Boston. We support the other organizations so the BBA has a charitable sister organization called the Boston Bar Foundation that was formed to really provide the 501c3 nonprofit charitable purposes of the BBA. And so through that we do funding for nonprofit organizations, many of which are providing civil legal aid services to Greater Boston, Metro West, and beyond.
And how does the BBA that you represent, how does the BBA fund all these initiatives? How do you get your funding?
Yeah, well, I'm free for the BBA.
How does the BBA get it?
But the BBA gets it through membership. It's a membership organization. We have our sponsor organizations often will pay a fee for all of their attorneys to become members, and it's a negotiated, those arrangements. We have similar fee arrangements with the law schools. We also have corporate organizations that become members, and so it's really through all of the organizations that are connected to the legal profession. We also have people who are sponsors who provide services to law firms like banks and insurance companies, and through those we also have some additional revenue that comes in. We also charge for some of the events that we do. We charge admission fees, and so those can be big generators of revenue as well.
So we're here today with Matt McTygue, President of the Boston Bar Association and partner at Hogan Lovells. Matt, so tell us a little bit about the BBA today under your leadership. Now, knowing that it's been some time since the pandemic, do you see any differences between the BBA now and when it was before the pandemic?
Yeah, there were pretty dramatic shifts just in the way people think about their professional life that happened in the pandemic. Well, first of all, there was a period of time that everyone was working from home. And so the networking opportunities were only by Zoom, which was a newer thing that everyone was trying out. And as a result of that, there's sort of a generation of people who started practicing, or they were in law school, or they started practicing when we were in the COVID pandemic. And as a result of that, they weren't as familiar with networking. They weren't as familiar with in-person programming and the value and the benefits that you can have from just having interactions face-to-face. So what we saw in the pre versus post-pandemic times is that it used to be that the BBA would have an event and everyone would show up, and you didn't really have to come up with some new compelling thing that made people understand personally what it was about. They came because they were a member of the profession and it was something that you just do. That's been disrupted, and I think that people have realized that there are a lot of other things that they can do with their time beyond just spending more time as a lawyer doing lawyer things. So what we've done is we've tried to create more compelling programs, often that are more narrowly tailored to specific groups of practitioners. Some of the ones that we've done recently that have been really fun and really engaging are the Women in Life Sciences Power Lunches, where we have a smaller group, maybe 100 people who show up to network with people who are specifically focused on their area of practice. And we've had great turnouts for those, and we've also had lots of people eager to sponsor those, law firms that provide services to life sciences companies. And it's a good chance for people in firms to interact with people who are at their clients. Another thing we did for the real estate section is we did a hard hat tour of a new construction site and talking about the legal issues involved in developing a specific site. Just things like that are more bespoke, that create opportunities to really get to know some of the practitioners who do just what you do, have been very successful. Other things we've done differently, try to increase our engagement with the law schools and the law students so that they can see the power of the network as students, and try to disrupt some of the practices that had happened during the pandemic of really staying at home and not getting out there. And we've seen an overwhelming turnout for some of the events that are just focused on law students as well. For some of our bigger events, we've changed the venues. So, pardon me.
Yes.
So we did the Law Day event at Fenway. We've done other events in new venues and tried out new things. We've decided to, in most cases, to ditch the concept of the sit-down dinner where we have speeches for a couple of hours, and we've tried to focus more on the networking, limited programming, so people have more time to spend with each other, and that has also proved to be pretty successful. And actually, one of the things that I've been focused on in my term is really focused on how do we increase engagement. And I don't want to take credit for all of the amazing thinking that has happened on the staff for this, but we have seen an uptick in engagement that had been going down in the pandemic and after the pandemic. It's now coming back up, and I think it's the focus on more tailored programs, more exciting programming, fewer sit-down dinners that have really got people to come back.
I can tell you that the MFA event is very exciting, but the event you had for Law Day was extremely exciting. I missed it, but what were you celebrating there?
Yeah, so Law Day is really, we focus on the rule of law, and we focus on the issues that are sort of foundational to our democracy. So we, at the event, obviously, we got to see a game, so the event was at the big event space at Fenway, and it
Very
was
exciting.
Before the game started, so we were able to not distract people from play. We, as I think I had mentioned earlier, we gave an award to the Access to Justice Commission for their work in advancing access to justice for lower income people in the Commonwealth. And it was fantastic. We were able to get them some time to go out onto the field to get their pictures taken with Wally and Tessie. And then Wally paid us a visit at our event as well. So that may have been the highlight over my speech for sure. But he got a lot of selfies with some very happy lawyers.
So we have 5 minutes left.
All right.
But I would like... Tell us how people can contact the BBA.
Sure. So you should go to their website. That's where you can find all of the information about the programs and services that they have, all the different sections, and there are opportunities for people to get involved, not just to attend programs, but if you are interested in a particular section, the corporate law section, the white collar section, the environmental section, the commercial litigation section. really any area of practice, immigration, family law, you can reach out to people at the BBA through the website and let people know, and we can get you involved. We'd love to have more volunteer leaders. It is really the backbone of the organization. So the website is www.bostonbar.org. And you could also just type in Boston Bar Association, and it should be one of the first links.
So Matt has discussed with us the benefits of joining the Boston Bar Association, the important work that they do, but also a brief takeaway before time runs out. How do you advance justice?
So we advance justice in a lot of ways at the Boston Bar Association. We, it's one of the core principles of what we do. We are a member of an organization that focuses on increasing access to justice. We do the annual Walk to the Hill, where attorneys from across the Commonwealth go to the State House to march and stand in solidarity in encouraging our legislature to increase funding for civil legal aid. And I guess I'd say that is critically important. Critically important because when people don't have access to an attorney in a civil litigation matter, the outcome can be dramatically different, and justice will not be served if people are not represented in matters. That's probably the primary way. Otherwise, the programs and services that we have that focus on nonprofits, that focus on pro bono legal services, the advocacy pieces that we do, writing statements and amicus briefs. A core thing of what we do is to focus on advancing justice in the Commonwealth and beyond.
Tell me, are the programs free for the membership?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, almost all the programs are free. Some of the events, the bigger events like the MFA event and the Fenway event, there is a price for that. There are, however, membership tiers that you can buy to get tickets to those free.
So in 1 minute that we have left, what do you have coming up at the BBA? Are there any exciting programs or educational material that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, so we will continue to issue our regular reports and everything, but because it's the summer, a lot of the programming, we'll have a lighter programming schedule. Our biggest events are behind us for the BBA year, which ends in August, and that's when my term will be up. And then the next president, Suma Nair, will be the president of the BBA, and I'm very excited to see what she'll be doing with the BBA in her term.
Well, this is definitely a podium for your future president, Suma Nair, and we look forward to hearing about your ending of the year, the future successes of the BBA, and the new leadership.
Thank you, Lucy. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Matt. This was our honor that you donated your time to be here with us to share with us the important work of the BBA.